What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gadgets123. Thanks again for the like, comment, subscriptions. On the road to 1,000 subs. You guys have an awesome thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so and support us. Alright, guys. We're going to do a little unboxing here. We're going to do the Sofabaton U1 remote, universal remote. We want to thank the people from Sofabaton for providing us this remote to review for you guys and unbox it. Now, if you guys remember, if you guys have seen, I have a previous video for the Sofabaton remote, universal remote attachment. So basically this is for the Fire Stick. So basically you insert the Fire Stick into this attachment and it becomes a universal remote. Pretty nice little, gadget. They had one for the Roku as well. I'm going to link both of them in the description. However, this is their universal remote. You don't have to put the Fire Stick remote into some sort of attachment like this one. This is a more sleek remote that they have. So thanks again for Sofabaton for providing us this to unbox for you guys. And what I'm gonna do for you guys, because the instructions are a little vague, took me a little while to kind of figure this stuff out. So I'm gonna try to do a quick test of how to sync a remote with the TV and especially the Fire Stick, so you guys could take a look and see how that whole thing works. All right, so let's check it out. Let's do a little unboxing here. So here's the actual remote. You get some instructions with, again, this is the only thing I don't like. Yes, they provided this, but it would have been nice if they would have provided a little more information about the instructions. But again, it's pretty simple. They say it's to load the battery. They give you a couple of tips here. Then you have to download an app and then follow the instructions on the app. Again, I'll show you how that works, so hopefully you guys don't have to go through what I did. Here's the actual remote, guys. As you can see, it's very sleek compared to the older model. Let me show you the older model. The other model was, like I said, some sort of an attachment. It it was okay. A little bit big on the overall, but this one is more sleek. This actually looks like an actual remote control. So as you can see, it's pretty good. It's all plastic, sleek plastic in the back. It has this little groove. This is where the battery goes. Now, to pull out the battery, it took me a while, guys. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be. But basically, all you have to do is grab these two things and basically just pull up. Here in the instructions, where is it? The instructions, for some reason, it says you have to go down, but I went up. So I want to show you real quick. So all I did was grab these two little grooves that it has on each side and then went up. You see, if I go up, it has the groove right there. I don't know if you guys could see it, right on top, right here. So here's the groove. So all you do is just go in like that and then push it down. But to open it, like I said, don't go down, because I try to go down like crazy and the thing didn't work. Personally, for me, I don't know. But what I did was just basically grab these two little grooves and then pull up and then took out. All right. So again, just a little tip. Took me a little while. Maybe you guys could do it quicker than I could. What I do like about it, it has that little LCD on top. So let me show you real quick. There you go. Here's the LCD. Here's the stuff that I already linked onto this actual remote. But my Fire Stick, you could learn a remote, which we're going to go over. And I linked my Samsung TV. So it's actually pretty cool. It has all the standard buttons of an actual remote control. As an example here, I have the Files remote. So if you have Files, you get an idea of how big it is. This one is the file is a lot bigger than this one, and definitely a lot thicker. The LCD does make it easy to go from one remote to the other, which is actually pretty cool. So if you have multiple devices like your Xbox, Fire Stick, Roku, Samsung TV, soundbar and all that, you could literally kind of scroll through this little scroll wheel and select which one you want to link to, if it's the Samsung, or if you want to go to the Fire Stick, or if you want to go to your soundbar or whatever. So again, pretty nice little feature with this little LCD. I did not expect it to have an LCD in it, which is actually pretty cool. The buttons are all standard. I'm not going to go over that because you pretty much know what a lot of these buttons are. But a lot of these buttons can be customized, so if you're going to customize it, you could definitely do that in this remote. Again, it comes with two Maxwell batteries. They are AA batteries, which is pretty nice. They included not the cheap stuff, so you know Maxwell is okay, good batteries. And for remote controls, they're gonna last you for a while. All right, guys. Again, nothing else is included in this package except for the remote control, the batteries, and the instructions. And let me just go over it real quick, see if I can find some more information. Basically, that's it. It says right there, I'll give you some information what it says. Supports up to 50 devices. Complete IR code on the cloud. Advanced OLED displayed, which is why it has that, you know, screen right there. Customizable micro keys, customizable remote button, and mobile app. Now again, the mobile app is to start configuring your device, so we're going to go over that right now. All right, let's check it out. All right, guys, we are back here. I had to remote into my phone, so to my phone, so I can kind of show you exactly how to sync the remote with your devices. Now again, unlike the other model, this one tells you to download an app. So we're going to go and see what app they're talking about. This way at least you could kind of have an idea how this whole thing works. So I logged into my actual phone right now. I'm logged into the phone itself. So if you go to the Play Store, now again, this is on the instructions. You have to go and download the Sofabaton app. So here it is. I already did it, but we'll go there right now. So it's this little icon, says Sofabaton Smart Remote. Once you download it, all you have to do is go into the actual app. So we'll go here. Where's the app? Here, Sofabaton. Here's the actual app that you have to download. So we'll double click on it, and this app will configure your actual remote. Alright, so it says here, now let's pair the remote with your phone first. So it has to be paired with the phone first. So again, what it says here, you have to press the home button, which they're pointing to right now. So that's the home button. Oops, my device is a little bit low here, so let me just plug it in real quick. So give me 1 minute, guys, because I don't want it to die in the middle of the actual video. So hold on. Okay, so there it is. So all you have to do is press the little home button on the remote, and it should be pairing. You have to press it for 5 seconds. So after you press it for 5 seconds, let me see what happens. Okay, so it says pairing, and let's give it a minute. There we go. So it's been successfully paired. Now again, it might take a minute or two. So again, like I told you before, these are the devices that I added. I added the Samsung TV and the Fire TV. Now, if you want to add an additional device or a first device, all you have to do is click on the little plus button here, and you go to add IR devices. Now again, a lot of the devices are IR. Now, I'm going to go over the Fire TV because that kind of caused me a little bit of a problem. So once I go here, for instance, you have the TV, STV, projector, DVD, AV receiver, streaming player. So for instance, if you have a TV like I do, you have to go to TV and then you put your model. So I'm putting Samsung, and I have the regular Samsung, so you go here. So again, it goes over, like for instance, it pretty much tells you to kind of turn off the TV and then point the remote at the TV without pressing any buttons. And all you have to do is just, you know, click on this power, and if the TV turns on, then that means the configuration for that specific model is going to be downloaded into the actual remote. If it did not work, then it's going to go to the second one. Then you do the same thing. Again, you don't have to press any buttons on the actual remote. The TV will turn on by itself. So if you do that, and let's say it does work, the TV actually turns on by itself while you just pointing the remote at the TV, then you click yes, and then it's going to go to the next part of the configuration. It's going to start configuring the buttons automatically. Now again, that doesn't mean that every button it's going to work, but the majority of the buttons are going to be configured to your TV. Then you can manually configure the volume and all that other stuff, which we're going to go over at the end of the video. But it's going to configure the majority of the buttons for your specific Samsung model or Panasonic or whatever. So that's the gist of it. That's basically how it works. and that's, let me see, cancel, let me see, sync with the remote. Let's just go over the syncing with the remote. Then again, it's going to start syncing with the remote, and what's going to happen is it's downloading, I believe, is that specific Samsung model that they have in their database. So that model that they, that you picked as 2 out of 40 or 3 out of 40, whichever is the one that worked, is being configured into the actual remote. And it's going to say downloading on the actual remote. The little display screen is going to say downloading, I guess, because it is downloading that model's specific settings of whatever Samsung or Panasonic or whatever TV you have. So again, it takes a couple minutes, about a minute or two. Again, not all the buttons are going to be working. Some of the buttons do not work again, but the majority of those buttons are going to be working on the actual remote. Alright, and as you can see here, it gives you the layout of the actual buttons, and this is basically the layout of the remote that you have, and it's telling you what is being configured. Now if you want to configure something manually, for instance, let's say this button doesn't work, all you do is click on it, and it says learn from original remote, so you click on that. So what's going to happen is it's going to tell you put the original remote next to the other remote, and you configure it the old-fashioned way, which was from the original Sofabaton remote adapter. All you do is press the button on the original remote, and also press the button on the new remote, and it's going to sync it. You're going to see this bar go up, all the way up, and sync both remotes. Now again, like I said, you have to press them together for a good couple seconds, because if you let it go, then it's going to start saying sync failed, and it's going to go down. And that took me a while to try to figure it out. Why was it not syncing correctly? Because you kind of have to hold both buttons at the same time. I basically just do it all the way until this bar goes all the way up. So I hold both buttons. So for instance, if I want to configure this button, I hold that button and the actual remote, and on the actual Sofabaton remote. So I'm gonna go do it for you right now, so you guys can't see it, but you're gonna see that bar go up, and you're gonna see this little thing turn into a blue button. So we'll do it right now. So let me see. Click these two together. There you go. I'm holding it, and there you go. It did it. You see, learning successful, and that means it did the configuration on this button. Now let me do it on the OK button. So if I press the OK button, learn from my original remote, and now I'm gonna let it go so you guys could see. Let's see if it works or if it doesn't. You see how it said failed? Because I kind of let it go right away. I usually just press it all together, and until it's done. So there you go, and now it did it. You see, so it did work this time. So again, it has other options. It says reassign remote keys. Remember, once the system picks the layout of your actual TV or whatever device you're configuring, you could rearrange the buttons. Again, not all the buttons are going to work, because I guess the configuration is not perfect. So some buttons are not going to do what it's supposed to do. So that's where you will go here to kind of configure that information. All right. So again, once you download it, it's pretty easy. Now, the only thing that I had an issue with was the Fire Stick, because I was going crazy trying to figure it out. Well, I went to add an IR device. I'm like, where do I go? I went to streaming players. I'm like, okay, why is it that they have the Roku and the Apple TV and the TiVo? And I'm like, where is the Amazon? I tried to do a search and all that, and it did not work. So what you have to do is, let me show you right now. So you have to do add device, add Bluetooth device, okay, Bluetooth, and that's where the Fire TV is. So if you click on the Fire TV and you click continue, confirm, there you go. It's gonna kick me out of the actual phone, and what's gonna happen, it's the actual app, I'm sorry, and then it's gonna tell you steps of what you have to do. So you basically have to go with the original Fire Stick remote into the settings of the Fire Stick and go to controllers, and then go to other remote, let me see here, other Bluetooth devices, and then add a Bluetooth device. So that's the steps you have to do to configure the actual Sofabaton A1 into, with your Fire Stick or Fire TV or whatever you have. You cannot do it via the remote control. Like that's what I thought. I thought I could put both remotes next to each other, like I did my TV and so forth, and try to configure. And I was going crazy why it didn't work, because you have to do it that way. Now again, once you decide to do it that way, as you could see, it kicked me out of the actual app. So I have to press the home button for 5 seconds, and after that it's gonna resync and connect it. Now again, this is, the old version. It was all manual. All you had to do is just put the remote next to the other, whatever IR device you had, and it start manually syncing all the buttons. This one, you don't have to do all that stuff. This one, basically, all you have to do is download the app, and it's gonna tell you how the app works. So again, hopefully this provided you some information of how this thing works, just to save you time from going over the instructions or reading all that other stuff. Like I said, I try to give you a little brief description of how this thing works. If you have any kind of questions, I'm not affiliated to Sofabaton. Again, they provided me this to test for you guys, so definitely ask them questions directly. They are, in this package, you're gonna get their customer service support, so you'll be able to go in there and ask them a couple questions of what, if you're having any kind of problems. But just keep in mind that adding Bluetooth device means that's where your Fire Stick is, and adding IR devices is going to be your TV, STB, and projectors and so forth. And they have a lot of different, look at the options they have. They pretty much have everything available as of 2019. They even have DVDs. That's crazy. That's like the old DVDs. I still don't know who, if people still use DVDs. I mean, my dad uses a DVD. But anyways, guys, so that's a little brief description. I know it went a little bit more than I wanted to, but I wanted to give you kind of lay out how this works, because I haven't seen anybody do that yet. I saw people, check out the remote and unbox it, and that's it. But I didn't see much information on how the configuration works. So I wanted to give a brief description. So now let's go back to the video to give you my last and final opinion on this actual remote. Alright guys, thanks again for checking that little demonstration we just did. So again, overall, this is the original Sofabaton remote, and this is their newer model that I received from them. Again, I want to kind of show you how the whole setup works now through your phone, instead of manually doing every single button. So again, this remote is great. This one takes it up another notch, just because it is way better. You can connect up to 50 devices, including your Bluetooth device and so forth, like as you saw my Fire Stick setup. So again, this one's an adapter, no issues with it. Great little adapter. I've been using it since I got it. This one again just takes it another notch. If you're looking for an amazing remote control, universal, a legit universal, not an adapter, a legit universal remote control, have no issues with this one. Again, the couple of drawbacks that I do see is, again, if you guys receive this remote to test and you had an issue with the battery, just put it in the comments. Took me a long time trying to figure this thing out. A good 5 minutes, no joke. Took me about 5 minutes to try to figure out how to take this thing out. The instructions basically just said, go down, and it didn't work. I almost had to use a little screwdriver to pull it out. But again, if you could put like a little sticker here and, saying, pull it up or whatever, it's, I think, a little bit better than what it has here, that it just says, go down and go from there. Again, that's my only little, nitpicking that I see. Overall, the remote itself is pretty cool. I do like the feature that once you download the app, it's pretty much self-explanatory, and not every image that you download for your TV or whatever is going to be perfect. A lot of the buttons are not going to work, but it's cool that they have the manual option via the phone, that it's going to, you could configure each button. Now, again, I don't know if the manual way is still available, so if you just put both remotes at the same time and then press them, and it's going to start configuring them. I don't know if it still does that. Again, it doesn't say nothing in the instructions like the original way. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the original video that I did for this of how to configure these remotes. I don't see that in the instruction. I think everything has to go through the app now. So it would have been cool if they would have just added the manual way. If, you know, some people don't have access to a phone. I mean, the majority, I mean, 99% of everybody has it. I'm just saying, you know, maybe add that manual way too would have been cool. But again, those are little nitpicking things that I'm saying. Overall, the remote is amazing. Hopefully they'll start producing these remotes, and you know, sooner rather than later. So again, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks again for the comments, likes, subscriptions. Again, thank you Sofabaton for providing us this U1 monster remote control, and stay tuned for more videos, guys. Again, on the road to 1,000 subs. Thanks again for everything, guys. You guys are amazing, and I'll be back with the next video probably tomorrow. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.